This is probably better for you. Hope asked me about the tubing concept that you brought up. I said, well, I need to go earlier in the summer so my big butt doesn't drag on the bottom. What y'all decided?
But they decided, because I said we were busy in the beginning. And I was like, any other time. And then
So Miss McCauley,
there's a reason as to out of those discussions.
So here are the weekends we can't go, and then everybody else kind of whittled it down, and then it was like, I guess August 4th.
Various this, that, and the other.
Let's bring this meeting to order. It's February 13th, 2023. Tonight our invocation will be provided by Reverend Mark Massey, pastor at True Light Tabernacle, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Boy Scout Troop 59. If you would, please stand with me.
Thank you, Mayor. Let us bow our heads. Father God, we thank you once again, God, for allowing us to congregate ourselves one more time. God, we pray your presence will be inside of these hallowed halls. God, we ask that you would move in a mighty way on tonight. Continue to strengthen these people, your people that are here. Bless the officers that are here. Bless the new officers, the new candidates. Bless our first responders, God. Just keep your hand on Mount Holly. And God, if you will do these things, we'll be careful to give your name praise, honor, and glory. We thank you now, and it's in your Son Jesus' name that we all say amen.
Advance. Coast to coast.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, City folk of Mount Holly. You know, tomorrow is a very special day. All of us guys got to remember that one special day tomorrow, don't we, gentlemen? Because those wives and girlfriends are going to be expecting something tomorrow. You know, tomorrow's the day of love, celebration of St. Valentine's Day. And in that spirit of love, we have started doing our Scouting for Food this weekend. Some of you may have seen flyers go out last Saturday at your houses. Just like to remind you to show the love and have those packages sitting out on the front step this Saturday so we can come by and pick them up. If you didn't get a flyer at your house, please feel free to run by the CRO and donate donations there for right now. My understanding is they're in need of lots of canned goods and things like that. So I'd like to encourage you guys to support us in our Scouting for Food coming this weekend. And Mr. Mayor, as usual, it's been a pleasure being here tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Well, thank the Boy Scout Troop 59 for supporting us. Reverend Massey, thank you so much for being here, being diligent and fervent, and always being here. Thank you so much. You may be seated. When you came in, there's a sign-up sheet for public comment. We'll be getting there shortly, so if you wish to speak under public comment, I'd ask you go ahead and sign up. We allow 3 minutes. We won't respond to questions. We're just going to listen, and our staff will take that for information, and then we'll develop a plan to get back with you. Okay? Next item is to set the agenda. Are there any changes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Moore, second by Ms. Polish. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion passes. We have 12 items on the consent agenda. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Ms. Shoemaker, second by Mr. Craig. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion passes. I'd ask the council to join me on the floor for presentations. First presentation is a resolution honoring former Mayor Bobby Black for his service. I'd ask Bobby and his family if they would come up, please. Once they come up, you'll find out why Bobby takes naps in the afternoon. They wear him out. So this is, hey, Miss Black. Hey, sorry, I was about started now. I saw you out of the corner of my eye. There's more. You go, that's right. And thank goodness for you. Beautiful family. A resolution in appreciation of the lasting contributions made by Robert D. Black as mayor of the city of Mount Holly. Whereas Robert Bobby D. Black sets an example of what it means to be involved in the community, having served on the Mount Holly Planning Commission in the early 1990s, then as a member of the Mount Holly City Council, before serving as mayor of Mount Holly from 2001 to 2003. And whereas Bobby served the city during a complex time full of such challenges as concerns over protection of the city's raw water intake, in the immediate aftermath of September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, a statewide freeze on the payment of sales tax to Mount Holly and other recipient municipalities relying on that tax as a source of budgeted revenue, and the crippling ice storm of December 2002, in which Mount Holly residents were without power for approximately 10 days. It was Bobby's fault. I love it. I still know his phone number if y'all need it. Whereas through it all, Bobby strove to keep moving forward and became known for facilitating the resolution of problems, big and small, by meeting with citizens for coffee to listen to their concerns and by taking an active role in coordinating meetings between city officials and stakeholders. And whereas Bobby took an active leadership role as mayor during the first vision process, in which citizens gathered in a series of public meetings to discuss the future of Mount Holly, ultimately leading to the passage of a $5 million bond referendum for the downtown streetscape project and parks, and the passage of ABC in Mount Holly. This passed by a 2-to-1 majority and began a transformation of Main Street and the beginning of the Greenway Trail System, as well as spinning off into the Mount Holly Community Development Foundation. And whereas Bobby led the city during the purchase of the former American and Eford Textile Mill, which is now the Mount Holly Municipal Complex, including the city administrative offices, the council chambers, the police department, the Grand Hall, and retail space. And whereas after his tenure as mayor, Bobby has continued to serve the community through the Mount Holly Community Development Foundation, the Mount Holly Historical Society, the Mount Holly Community Garden, the Mount Holly Rotary Club, the Stowe Family YMCA, the Mount Holly Sports Hall of Fame, the Mount Holly Community Relief Organization, the Mount Holly Police Foundation, and the Mount Holly Man and Woman of the Year Committee, as well as by serving the insurance needs of citizens of Mount Holly and the surrounding area. That's a lot. And whereas Bobby is a true family man devoted to his wife Melanie, his children Joe and Anna, and his grandchildren Cooper, Sadie, Maggie, Luca, and Aria, sorry. Which one's Aria? I'm going to bet that's yours. Yep, of course. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and city council do hereby express thanks to Robert D. Black for his dedication and effective service to the city of Mount Holly and wish him a long and enjoyable retirement, whenever that begins. This, the 13th day of February, 2023. Thank you, my friend. Do you want to say anything? Joe, would you like to say something?
Thank you, Mayor. First off, Mayor Witt, where is he? Is he here? He told me this was going to be like a Comedy Central roast and I should have some really embarrassing stuff to say, but that seems like this is not quite the place to do that. So we'll stick with what I wrote ahead. But I do want to say to Bobby, my dad, I call him Bobby, we call him Dewey, we call him all kinds of things. I think if he's not going to speak, I know he would want to say thank you to the brave men and women that are here tonight, and congratulations on your promotions and all the wonderful things you do for the city, whether it was during his time as mayor, and I lived here for 30 years, so I just want to thank you all for being here as well. Some of you police officers I've met a little bit more than the firemen, but so
It's true.
yeah, well, he knows. So I'm not going to be able to look at you, Dad, because I know I'm going to get emotional, so please forgive me for not looking at you. But I wanted to say a few words on behalf of our family in appreciation to the city of Mount Holly for this recognition of our favorite mayor. No offense. No
My
offense.
favorite mayor, too.
We remember the days when my dad was mayor fondly. Calls at 11 p.m. because the neighbor's dog wouldn't stop barking. Calls at 5 a.m. because someone's water was cut off by those folks in the town hall, which Bobby politely asked, did you actually pay your bill? And we all remember getting calls at Mayor Black's house throughout the day saying, what are you going to do about that damn pig? If anybody's lived here long enough to remember the pig incident. Can I say damn? I apologize for saying damn. Mayor, yeah.
We all remember. Thanks, Joe.
Not once did my dad ever hang up on those people. Not once did he ever get off the phone without offering at least one solution. Through that process, I learned to have grace, patience, and to be there for the people you say you're going to be there for. I've got to imagine being a mayor where everyone knows everything about you, including your landline number, your cell phone number, your office phone number, where your office is, where your house is conveniently located to the Mount Holly City Hall, and what time your church lets out for Sunday service so they could stop by and have a quick chat at your house. Has to be tiring. Mayor Black, as mayor, did exactly what he signed up to do, and he did it with class, care, empathy, and utmost love for the city and the people he was sworn to take care of. Bobby Black, to me, loves this city more than anyone I've ever met. And I'm a little slighted in my view, I get that. But I've never heard someone talk about a town like a breathing body that is evolving and changing shape for the better. Almost like a parent would having a child growing up in front of them. Bobby Black looks at Mount Holly the same way he looks at my sister Anna and I, and now his grandchildren. He wants the best for something that he gets so much joy and sense of being from that he puts his entire heart and soul into making sure that that best he's hoping for is possible. In closing, this next part may sound a bit morbid, but I think many of us wait until the things we love are gone to really share how much we actually love them while they're here. So someday, many, many years from now, when the good Lord calls Dewey up to lead one of his many committees that he knows he's already going to be the best chairperson that committee's ever had, Mount Holly won't be worse off that our dad is gone, because Mount Holly is what it is today and what it will be tomorrow because Bobby Black lived in it. Dad, I love you so much, and thank you for showing us what a true example of a leader, a citizen, a mayor, and the best dad a kid could ask for really is. Thank you.
Two quick things. Back when I was mayor, and Brian was on the council, we never had people come down with us. So thank you. And just One last thing, Mayor mentioned the vision process, when the community got involved, and that's who you are. At one of those meetings that we had at the Rankin Elementary School, what is it out of this month? A citizen came up with an idea. Wouldn't it be cool to come down to the old mill and have a performing arts play? Our citizens could actually get together and have events. That one idea, for one person makes a difference in this town. This town is great because of people. And I've been honored to be a part of it. My granddaughter, Katie, came to me with her mother the other day that was scared to do something, and she said, "Pop, you picture on the wall here." And I said, "Well, Pop, you was the mayor back in the day." She said, "Shut up." No way. That makes you feel good. Anyway, so thank you so much. Honored to be with you guys tonight. Thank you for all y'all do for the city of Mount Holly. This town will continue to be amazing in the years to come. We have a great council, great staff, and great team. So thank you again.
Thank you. Did y'all get a good picture? Whoever's taking the pictures? I'm trying to sneak, but everybody sees you. Good job, Joe. Thanks, man. Hey, it's okay. It's all right. They have me as mayor now. You want to take it? Sure. Hold on, let me get over this. I want to tell y'all this. I meant to say it, Bobby, before, but it was Bobby's idea. He would call me up and he says, you know, Mayor Broome, we need to recognize Mayor Broome, Mayor Belt, Mayor Charles Black, Frank McLean, all of our former mayors. That was his idea. And we've recognized Robert Witt, we've recognized every former mayor that was living in Mount Holly because of you. Well, I saved you for last. You were the youngest.
Only one way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Mayor, City Council, past mayors. Mayor Black was the mayor when I was hired back in 2000. So it's been an honor to serve with you over the years. So thank you very much. Tonight, it's my privilege to introduce three gentlemen, three firefighters that are now going to accept the role of captain within our fire department. This past year, we added our third firefighter at the North Fire Station. And with that comes a responsibility of we need someone that's going to supervise those firefighters up there. Firefighters have a tendency to get in trouble, you know, if somebody's not in charge. But our firefighters are great, so we don't have to worry about that. But at this time, I'm going to call Tim Treese forward. Tim started his fire service career in 2006 at Community Volunteer Fire Department, where he served for a long time. He was hired with the city of Mount Holly in 2009. I asked each one of these captains why they wanted to become a captain. And he said, I enjoy the challenge it offers. It's been a childhood dream of mine to be successful in the fire service. So, the next firefighter or captain I'm going to call forward is Chris Riddle. Chris started his fire service career in 2006 with the town of Stanley as a firefighter there. He was hired also in 2009, and I asked him what the reason why he wanted to be a firefighter, or a captain, excuse me. He said, I could better help the firefighters on my truck with the knowledge and skill set and the critical thinking that's needed to do the job. The last captain I'm going to call forward is Patrick Craig. He started his fire service career in 2005 with Cook's Volunteer Fire Department. He also has served and still continues to serve on West Mecklenburg Volunteer Fire Department. In 2017, he was hired at Denver fire department full-time, and we were able to get him in 2019 as a full-time firefighter as well. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, sir. My pleasure.
At this time, Daniel Treese, if you could come forward. Okay. Daniel is also going to bring his new son forward, which is Captain Treese's nephew. So Captain Treese wanted his nephew to pin him, but we're going to do it a little differently.
It's a family, right?
At this time, I'm going to call Jeff Riddle forward. This is Chris's father. And Stacy, this is Patrick's wife. She's going to come forward and pin him. I'd like to introduce the newest officers of our fire department for Station 35.
Thanks, guys. Would you please shake their hand? I know they want to shake and congratulate you.
Mayor, Council, tonight's a good night. Promoting Deputy Chief Sis is one of the greatest honors of my career. The support that's shown here tonight, I think, speaks volumes to the man he is, the officer he is. We've got officers here from agencies all across the county. We got some past chiefs here that I'd like to recognize. Chief Don Roper, Chief Tom Ellis from Bessemer City, Chief Bence Hull, Interim Chief Jim Benfield, and Chief David James. I'd like to I'd like to personally thank Jennifer and Braxton and David's mom and dad for the support and encouragement through the years. I know it's this job's stressful at times. The position that he's going into is really stressful at times, and knowing that the loved ones at home support you and are encouraging you makes it so much easier. So having him come in to complete the chief's office, I'm really looking forward to where we can take the police department to, and with our excellent staff that we have.
Just place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Do you, David W. Sis, solemnly swear that you will be alert and vigilant to enforce the criminal laws of this state, that you will not be influenced in any matter on account of personal bias or prejudice, that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that you will faithfully and impartially execute and discharge the duties of your office as Deputy Chief of Police for the City of Mount Holly, North Carolina, according to the best of your skill, ability, and judgment, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Of course you do. Congratulations.
I did just want to take a moment to recognize everybody. You know, the older I get and the older I become, I think it's important to point out things and recognize some folks that's important in your life. And I've got quite a few of those folks here tonight. My wife asked me, said, did you write something down? I said, no, you know, I started thinking about it, and I'm just way too blessed to put it on paper. When I started thinking about that, it was going to take way too long to write it, so I'm going to try to make it brief and summarize it very quick. But first and foremost, my wife and my son, you know, my wife's always supported me, and I know times I haven't been there, and we forget about our spouses a lot, but, you know, it was just last night. You know, I leave at 9 o'clock and get home at 7 o'clock this morning, which is very unexpected, and we've got some folks here that work 24, 30 hours straight that's here to support me now, and I think it's important that we recognize those folks and recognize what they do. My mom and dad, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. They raised me right. My daddy taught me how to be a man. My mama was always there for me and loved and supported me, and I've been blessed beyond measure to have the parents that I have, and I appreciate them. I've got some honored guests here tonight. It's Officer Tyler Hearn, his mom and dad, Mark and Debbie, his sister Lindsay, his aunt Terry Phillips, and his cousin Amanda Phillips. I appreciate them being here and supporting me. And I wanted to recognize really quick two real good friends of mine. One of them said it was going to be like seeing a unicorn tonight, and I said, amen to that, brother. But they're real good friends of mine. They've always been there and supported me. One worked here, one lived here, worked for the Highway Patrol, but he served the citizens of this town very much so, and that's Shane Cahy and Brian Settlemeyer. They've always been big mentors of mine, always been good friends of mine. They've always been here for this community, always been here to support me, and they still are. I'd also like to recognize their wives, Kathy and Miss Sandra. You know, they took care of me when I was single before I had somebody to take care of me. And Miss Sandra used to make sure I had washing powders and had groceries. She'd send them home with me. And Miss Kathy would invite me up for dinner. And, you know, they took care of me, and I got to see their little ones grow up. But I appreciate their friendship. And I just want to recognize I appreciate the firefighters, too, and what they do and their support for us. But I want to recognize the folks that do this job every day, that come in and answer these calls every day. I've had a front row seat to one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in life. And to see the sacrifice that these folks make and the things that they're willing to do to keep the community safe and for one another. And, you know, it touched my heart last night. You had some folks that just barely went home, been home for an hour, and they showed back up at work, and they weren't complaining come 6 a.m. again. It was, let's get the job done and whatever it takes and be here for one another. So thank y'all for what y'all do each and every day, and I appreciate y'all. And thanks to everybody for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll resume our meeting. Thank you. Right now.
Sorry, Mayor.
It's not killing me, it's just stiff. Thank you. It's gone great. It's been great, 3 weeks tomorrow, yeah. Gina's been great, but it was so much better than the first time. Yeah, I don't know if I'm in a lot better shape than I was the first time.
What's up, my man?
I worked really hard leading up to it, but yeah. It is. It definitely is, because I was lifting my leg. I mean, you just don't do that day one, and I was going. The swelling's been good. It'll be big tonight when I get home, but other than yeah, the bruising wasn't near as bad. Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We know the same person, and we're like, we have to tell them.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
You can't go quick.
All right, let's start making our way back, and we'll get our meeting back underway.
She looks nicer, but
No, I know.
she has curls on.
She
She's all
has
dressed
a
up.
big, pretty heart on. I like that.
I was afraid when she ventured into the crowd that she
I know. I was thinking
she'd get like swept away with the crowd.
I know. I was afraid too.
Here's David.
Are you off?
That was pretty big.
All right, the next item on our agenda is a presentation of Sharp Awards, Debbie Rogers Lowry, and Commissioner of Labor Josh Dobson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am here tonight to introduce some special guests that we have with us. We have the Commissioner of Labor, Josh Dobson. We have the Consultative Supervisor, Nelson Edwards. And we have Consultative Bureau Safety Consultant, Lori Keys, back there. We are here tonight to add to the fund for the police department. They have been recertified in the Public Sector SHARP program. Now, the SHARP program, for any of you who are not familiar with that, SHARP is an acronym for Safety and Health Achievement Recognition Program. It is awarded and achieved by departments who go above and beyond in making their workplaces safer. And this is an every day and every night, as it is with the police department. There are 4 qualifiers in order to get to the program itself. The first one is the 3-year injury average. Your average injury rate has to be at or below the 3-year average for every other police department across the state of North Carolina for 3 years. And we do that every single time. The next is employee commitment. The employee's commitment to go home every night to their families. As we just heard the new Deputy Chief Sisk say how important it is to go home to the families every night. And that's what these folks do here every single night, is that commitment to doing the job and going for excellence every single day and night. Next is request an OSHA inspection. Not all people have the confidence to actually request an OSHA inspection, but we do here at the police department. It is actually a 2-part inspection. There is a safety part The safety part was performed by Lori Keys. Lori's never been to the police department with us here before, so we really didn't know what to expect. But Lori is interested in things that you can trip and fall over, things that can fall and hit you, things that can cut you, electric, burn, those kind of things. That's what she's interested in. She's also very much like the police department in that details are so very important. She's very detail-oriented. So she did a great job, and I think we made some detail changes, and she was very happy with those. Nelson is like an old friend coming home. He's here every other year or so, either to see the police department or a water plant or wastewater plant, street and sanitation. Several of our divisions already hold this designation. So he's here on a regular basis. He's interested in things that you can ingest, things that you can inhale, things you can absorb through your skin. It's the health and hygiene portion. So we survived Nelson too. We kind of know what to expect with him. He's the kind you want to invite for dinner. And Lori will invite you too. They seem to like you a whole lot this time. And last but certainly not least is the management commitment. That is the commitment of the mayor, the council, our chief, all of that management commitment to be certain that our employees have the training they need, personal protective equipment they need, the support they need to do their jobs and do it safely. So all of that was done. All of that was successful. And tonight we have Commissioner Josh Dobson here to actually present them with the recertification because of the great job they've done. Commissioner Dobson actually has a little special place in his heart for law enforcement. So when he learned about this tonight, he certainly wanted to be here to present it in person. So Commissioner Dobson, won't you come on up? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie, Nelson, Lori, thank you for what you all do for the department. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, council members, Chief Reagan, thank you all for having me. I know there's a lot of agenda to go, so I'll keep it short. I'm not going to give the whole speech, but I'm thinking about the things I've learned in 2 years at Labor, and I'm going to name 4 of them, and I'm only going to talk about one. But most of my decisions are bad and worse. The employees make the department more than the commissioner does, by far. The workforce shortage is as bad as it seems. The political division in our country, in our state, has to get better, and I think towns and cities is ground zero for that, and you all frankly could be a model for a lot of the rest of the state. I've got a few others, but I'll stop on those. And then another one that I want to talk about tonight just for a second is workforce safety. Even though it's not doesn't get the recognition that some other things do, workforce safety is either part of the culture of an organization or it is the culture of the organization. You don't treat it just as a necessary nuisance to throw token support to, or you do. And here at Mount Holly, you all definitely fall into the category of it being not just part of the culture, but it is the culture, and it oozes out of this city. And I just came really to make the presentation, Mr. Mayor, to you and the Chief and the council. But beyond that, just to say thank you for being an example for the rest of the state. And I think it's, Debbie and I were talking, of all the eligible organizations in state and local government that are eligible for this, I think 5% across our state have received this award. So we don't just hand it out. You all, as the council, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Manager, Chief Reagan, and on down the line, have a commitment to workplace safety, and I'm here to commend you for that. And as North Carolina's Commissioner of Labor, say thank you. So that's really all I have, Mr. Mayor. I'll go with your indulgence on how you want me to do the presentation, but thank you all for having me.
I'm going to let Chief call that. They're the ones that did it, not me. So.
So, City of Mount Holly Police Department. The North Carolina Department of Labor recognizes the excellence and effort demonstrated by public sector employers that provide safe and helpful workplaces. This commitment from state agencies and local governments proves that public sector employers in North Carolina provide outstanding leadership in occupational safety and health management. Having met all of the requirements of the Safety and Health Achievement Recognition Program, this public sector employer is hereby granted an exemption from OSHA program compliance inspections for the following period, November of 2022 to November of 2024. Chief Reagan, your staff, congratulations, well deserved. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you for coming.
Congratulations to our police department. Thank you, Debbie, for your leadership in that. Nelson, are you going to get up, or is that just the flag? You're good? All good. Okay, all right. So the next is a presentation and introduction from Miss Mount Holly, Jamie Logan.
I'm pretty loud, so I'll yell. Hey everyone, my name is Jamie Logan, and I have the absolute privilege to serve you all as Miss Mount Holly 2023. So super quick, a little bit about me. I represent Mount Holly as a part of the Miss North Carolina and ultimately the Miss America organization. So what that means is I competed in a preliminary competition back in November. I had to do a private timed interview, which is very different than a job interview. It was timed again, so that was unique. I had to do a timed interview, an onstage question, a talent, and an evening gown portion. Ultimately gave me the opportunity to represent you all as Mount Holly, and then as Miss Mount Holly. And in June of this upcoming year, I will compete for the title of Miss North Carolina. So throughout my service as Miss Mount Holly, I do different appearances, but ultimately I'm promoting something called my Social Impact Initiative. So that's something that title holders are passionate about. It could be an organization, a cause, whatever that is. For me, my Social Impact Initiative is everyone belongs in sports. So I work in professional sports. I've grown up playing professional sports, or I've grown up playing sports. I work in professional sports. So I'm really passionate about just providing sports opportunities here in Mount Holly. So I'm doing a lot with the Parks and Recreation, youth athletics, different things like that. What I'm working on now is a sneaker drive, and I have different flyers if anybody's interested. So it's going to go all the way till February 28th. And what I'm doing is I'm collecting used sneakers so they can have holes in them, rips, they can be dirty, it doesn't matter. They're going to be recycled through a company called Got Sneakers. Got Sneakers is going to give me a portion of proceeds for each sneaker donated, and that's going to go directly back to the Parks and Rec. So again, I'm not going to see any of that. That's going to cover athletic fees, anything they need for equipment. Again, anything that our athletic needs just to provide more athletic opportunities for our youth. So that's kind of a little bit about me. Again, I'm serving Mount Holly until June, and I'm under the direction of David, and it's truly been, as cheesy as it sounds, one of the best years of my life. I grew up in a super small town, moved to this type of area, and then again, just have goodness gracious, it's been a long day. I'm just blessed to serve Mount Holly. So I appreciate you guys, what you guys do for Mount Holly, and the opportunity to serve you guys this year. So thank you.
Thank you. Next is a presentation of Gaston County Vision 2040, Leslie Lee and Gina Shell.
Pull up our PowerPoint here. Mayor, Council, I'm very pleased to be here this evening. My name is Gina Shell. I work for Gaston County and I live in Mount Holly, so I'm doubly happy to be here. I was here almost exactly 2 years ago with some colleagues to tell you that we were undertaking a county-wide vision to develop a vision for the entire county, listening to the public and what the county wanted. And so I'm very pleased to be back here tonight. Tonight I'm here with Leslie Lee, who's the Executive Director of Gaston Together. And we want to tell you a little bit about where we've ended up with the vision, and thank you so much for your support of this effort over the last 2 years. So we're going to tell you a little bit about creating the vision. It's really a foundation for the work to come. Tell you a little bit about what it says, how we're going to implement it, and a community information hub that we're planning, and how to stay involved. So as I said, this has been about a 2.5-year process. That first year was laying the groundwork, coming out and talking with you all about what we wanted to do. This has been a public-private initiative. Half of the funding came from the county and the municipalities, and so Mount Holly was a contributor to this effort, and we are very, very grateful for that. We had a very diverse steering committee that was active in creating the vision. And we did a lot of community engagement. We did 3 rounds, north of 70 workshops and meetings, a couple of online surveys, and by now we've spoken with over 2,000 participants. And where we've landed is really just the end of the beginning, because it's all about making this vision real and making it real for the community. So we very much see it as a foundation for work to come. We really hope this becomes a foundation for all of our organizations to build up their own strategic plans and visions, to collaborate together, to reach out to the community and make sure that we are doing what our citizens want across the county, and just to innovate and make the county the best that it can be.
So where does that leave us, and where does it lead us? It leads us to One Gaston 2040, which is a place where everyone thrives. And that is the wrong button. We have 5 defining traits. We want people to feel a sense of belonging. People feel welcomed and valued in Gaston County. Whether you're a long-term resident, a newcomer, a commuter, or someone who's just visiting, we want this to be a feeling that you have a sense that this is where you belong. A collaborative spirit. Moving forward is the success for Gaston County as people and organizations join forces and they're addressing community challenges and leveraging the benefits of our growth. Growth is coming, we need to leverage that. Unique locales. Over and over we heard from the 2,000 people so far that we've spoken with that people want to maintain the character of their hometowns. It's important to them. They're there for a reason and they want that to be maintained. But also the mountains and the lakes, the walking trails that we have. All of these lend character to our county. Quality growth. Growth is coming. Growth is coming whether we are ready for it or not. It's here. So we want to make sure that it's part of our future. We want to understand how to use that to leverage it and make opportunity with it. We don't want it to destroy what our residents value. And have an inclusive opportunity. We want everyone to feel included and no one to feel excluded. We want people to see people who look like them in positions of leadership throughout our communities. We have 5 main focus areas. The first is One Gaston Cares. We want to be healthy in our body, mind, and spirit. Our communities will work together for a quality of life for all. We want to collaborate and build coalitions, welcome and value diversity, and promote health and wellness in our mind, our body, and our spirit. Our second is One Gaston Connects. We really want to focus on convenient access with internet, the ability to get around by walking, biking, driving, and using public transit, and that was a big theme that we heard over and over. We want to improve our mobility and our connectivity and accessibility. And if the COVID-19 taught us nothing, it is that broadband access is an extremely important part of how we move our county forward. There's so many different ways that we learn to utilize that, and we need to make sure that it's available for everyone to be able to connect. One Gaston Works. We have great jobs and career opportunities. We need to be prepared and equipped to succeed. We want to strengthen childcare and early childhood education. We heard over and over again that childcare was a barrier for many people with their careers. We want to have our students ready for whatever their next steps are, whether it is college or moving into a trade. We want to make sure that they have those opportunities and strengthen and target our economic development. One Gaston Grows. We achieve quality growth and economic success by using our land and resources wisely, maximizing housing options, providing adequate infrastructure to support that housing, and retain our character. Over and over again, we also heard affordable housing is a barrier for so many people. We need to make sure that we're keeping that in the forefront of our thoughts. And One Gaston Shines. We need to have a sense of pride about what Gaston County has to offer. We need to leverage that pride and a positive perception, and we need to also leverage the arts and culture. It's an important part of who we are and what we do. So how do we move forward from here? Gaston Together is going to be an integral part of the implementation structure for what we do. We are creating teams around each of these focus areas. And within those teams, we are looking for 10 to 15 members. We want a subject matter expert, someone who has working knowledge of each of the areas that we're focusing on. And then another important member is our community champion. This will only work if the community is behind it. And to get the community behind it, we need to have someone who can help us rally the troops. We want to have diverse and energized membership, a collaborative strategy and goals, and we're going to be tracking our progress and making sure that we're working against those metrics. We also are standing up a dashboard, a community information hub that will be used to help us bring this information back to the community. And we're very grateful for your support of that from the very beginning of these conversations. It's been an important part of how this vision is going to look different than other visions that have happened before. Our timeline, we are now bringing this vision back to the community where it belongs with presentations such as this. We are identifying our focus area teams and our members. We'll have a capacity building workshop when those people are in place. We're working continuously on developing our dashboard. We'll begin to start shaping our vision. How you can help us is to get involved. Spread the word. Offer names to us of potential members for any of these focus area teams that you think would be an important contribution. Participate in the data dashboard and community information hub. Reference and support the One Gaston 2040 plan in your strategic planning. You all have a copy of that document there. It's also available on both Gaston Together's website and on the One Gaston 2040 website. Innovate, collaborate, and create. Those are the words that we're using in the forefront of everything that we are doing with this. And my contact information is there. Please feel free to reach out to me for more information or to offer suggestions of people that you would like to have us talk to be involved or to give this presentation to. Thank you so much for your time. We're so excited about what this is offering for Gaston County. I'm very happy that you all are a part of it.
Thank you. We appreciate you being here. Thank you for the information. Are there any questions? Okay. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Next is a presentation of the 2023 event schedule. Abby Miller.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So I'm just here to go over the 2023 special events. So just to give a little bit of a background, at the September 13th, 2021 council meeting, Mayor Hugh had felt that the city had a good handle on special events and chose to transition the special events committee from a mayoral committee to an internal staff committee led by myself, the special events coordinator. After that meeting, staff formed the special events team with the goal to make sure that all city-sponsored and outside events bring fun and excitement to the city of Mount Holly, with safety as the #1 priority. Council will continue to be the first to know of all dates and any changes to city-ran events. The special events team members are Brian DuPont, Mark Jusko, Brian Kale, Amy Miller, Tara Douglas, myself, and Mary Blomquist. So just a recap from our 2022 events, it's a breakdown of the attendance from those events. In total, we had these are all approximate numbers given to us by the police department, but we had approximately 23 to 24,000 people that attended the events last year, and that is with one of them being canceled due to weather. So for the 2023 event calendar, as you can see, there's a breakdown, but these are all of the city-run events. So we have the toddler Easter egg hunt, the senior dinner, community dinner, Spring Fest, the 6 Mount Holly Nights dates, National Trails Day, the fireworks celebration, National Night Out, Lantern Parade, Miracle on Main Street, Downtown Carriage Rides, Santa in the Grand Hall, and the Electric Christmas Parade. And then I broke them down into more categories. So the Easter egg hunt is going to be on Wednesday, April 5th. National Trails Day at Tuck Park will be on Saturday, June 3rd. National Night Out will be Tuesday, August 1st, and the Lantern Parade will be on Saturday, October 21st. For Springfest this year, these are the city-ran events. So the senior dinner will be on Tuesday, May 2nd. Community dinner will be on Thursday, May 4th. Springfest Saturday will be on Saturday, May 6th. And then the band for Springfest is Landslide. The Mount Holly Nights event dates are Friday, May 12th, Friday, June 9th, Thursday, June 29th, and that's going to be the fireworks celebration. Friday, August 22nd, Friday, September 8th, and Friday, October 13th. And these are the bands for those dates. So for the first one in May, we have Blue Monday, and they're an 80s, 90s band. Then on Friday, June 9th, we have Thurston Howell. They're a yacht rock band. The June 29th, we have Coming Up Brass. They're kind of variety. August 11th, we have Liquid Pleasure. They're also a variety band. On September 8th, we have 20 Ride. They're a Zach Brown tribute band. And then on October 13th, we have On the Border coming back again, and they're an Eagles tribute band. And we started booking these bands in October of 2022, just to give you guys a background on that. And then You'll Love Mount Holly dates. We have Miracle on Main Street on Friday, December 1st. Downtown Carriage Rides we did add 3 dates this year due to demand from last year. So it's going to be December 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then the 11th, 12th, and 13th. And then Santa in the Grand Hall will be December 9th and December 13th. And then the Christmas parade, we did move to Saturday instead of Friday, so that'll be Saturday, December 16th. And then just to kind of recap that, changes from 2022. This year, the city is going to have a larger role in the Lantern Parade. Their goals are to continue to grow that event year after year, and with the city's help, hopefully we'll be able to continue to grow that. Like I said, we added 3 additional nights for the carriage rides, and then we asked for feedback from participants of the parade, spectators, and as well as staff, and everyone traffic was the main issue with the parade, and with it going on pretty much right in the middle of rush hour, we decided to move it to Saturday this year to try to avoid some of that rush hour traffic. Just questions?
Does council have any questions? Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you.
Next is public comment, and I think our pen is not working very well out there, so I can't really read the last names, but I'm just going to go with first names. Stacy? Thank you. We're going to work on our pen. Well, it smeared a little bit later, so that's okay. We'll have a pen out there later. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Stacy Plez, and I have already met with the planning board a little bit to try and figure out how to approach this, but I'm requesting a change to the animal amendment to allow urban laying hens. And right now it is 500 feet from a residence or a street, and kind of following some similar guidelines around North Carolina and several other states that I've researched. I'm kind of proposing a scaled amount of hens based on your lot size, and then some different setback restrictions along with an annual permit and removal. But I know there has been a lot of talk about people wanting to have laying hens, so I figured we'll start rolling the ball.
Well, great. Thank you. Kendall?
Thanks for having us tonight. My name is Kendall Starcher. This is Lauren Murray, and we are the owners of Catalyst Mercantile on Main Street. For the last 3 seasons, we've been hosting the Mary Market, and we're here tonight to petition the council for a more affordable option to rent the space for the Mary Market in order to continue this amazing event. We also have some really great vendor feedback that we'll get to if we make it within 3 minutes. If not, I can email it to you, no worries.
Yes, we will. We have it all set out, ready to go.
So I'm just going to hop right into it for the sake of time. What we are asking for is a reprieve on the rental that we pay for this space, not a full reprieval, but a discounted rate. Our proposal is that we would pay the refundable deposit up front. We would pay the cleaning fee plus the $500 fee that's normally charged for civic groups. And then we would pay an additional $650 for the early setup fee, and cover any other incidentals. We already cover after hours police officers, event insurance, anything like that. That would allow us the freedom to spend more for marketing, to provide, a wider scope to get more people here for this public event, and to be able to continue partnering with Main Street and make sure that we are sharing the love and that all the businesses are really feeling the benefit of Mary Market.
So some of our vendor feedback we got, I sent it out. We've had over 200 vendors participate in the last 3 markets. We always have double the amount of applicants than we do space. So it's definitely a market that's in demand. On a scale of 1 to 10, vendors gave Mary Market an average rating of 9.6, with 90% of respondents guaranteeing that they would apply to future events. Customer turnout met or exceeded 95% of respondents' expectations. 86% of vendors produced sales up to $2,000, and 95% said vendor fees were fair and appropriate for the sales that they produce. 97% of vendors said that they made genuine connections with the customers and felt that they had potential for future business. We, personally speaking, as the owner of our store on Main Street, for weeks after the market, I get customers coming in being like, "You had a guy on the wall, he sold this, can I have his email address?" So it's a great way to introduce makers, and we get vendors that drive 3 and 4 hours to come to this market. That's bringing people out of town. Our primary piece of feedback to improve future Mary Market events was increased advertising across all channels, which requires further monetary investments from us. And so freeing up some of this rental fee helps us put more money into promoting Mount Holly as a destination event marketplace. One of our vendors actually pointed out that our 2022 markets were 20% of her entire sales for the year. So these markets are helping people. Like, it's going straight to people who can buy Christmas presents for their kids. On Mary Market Saturdays, downtown businesses see an average uptick in sales. All right, I'll email you the rest.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you. Ayla? Did I say that correctly? I thought I remembered from last month. Hey, Ayla. It's a very catchy tune. They're probably trying to call it to find it, yeah. All right, Ayla, it's all yours.
Hi, I'm Ayla, and this is why I need sidewalks. I just rescued a dog, and he hurt his leg. He loves to walk down the hill. If we don't have sidewalks, he might get hit by a car. Again, we don't feel safe without sidewalks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming back. Next is consideration and approval of funding a portion of Exit 27 landscaping enhancements. Mr. DuPont.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Got those loaded. Thank you, Mayor and Council. So, as most of y'all are aware, the I-85 widening project is coming soon. I want to give some background information before I went into the scenario I'm going to present to you, but the I-85 project is from exit 27 at NC 273 to exit 17 US 321 in Gastonia, and it's going to be widened from 6 lanes to 8 lanes. Majority of the bridges are going to be replaced during this project, except for our exit 27 bridge at 273. And the total project cost at this time is $624.4 million. The let date for this project will be March of 2024, and the estimated completion is somewhere near 2030. So the aesthetics, basically during any NCDOT project, they allow aesthetic improvements or betterments for new construction, for the local jurisdictions to participate in, such as material choice on facades. For this is the bridges, railing, lighting, landscaping, and traffic signal poles. Since spring of 2022, meetings between the MPO and municipalities adjacent to this project have been occurring, and the goal is to develop a consistent look or aesthetic throughout this whole project based on the materials and other improvements that can be made. There's also a survey that was sent to elected officials, including the mayor and council, in September, trying to get input on those types of improvements. So the proposal at this time is the bridge at NC 273. It's entirely within the city limits of Belmont. At their recent council retreat, they chose to do a mid-tier landscaping project. They also are going to do some enhancements to the bridge, but so far the only discussion with Mount Holly has been about the landscaping. So the Gaston County Tourism Development Authority approached Belmont and Mount Holly about enhancing the gateway into the county and offered to pay a third of the mid-tier landscaping, which is at an approximate cost of $250,000, and they want to split that with Belmont, Mount Holly, and the TDA, which is roughly $83,000 per organization. The way that would look if moving forward is NCDOT would actually have a municipal agreement with Belmont as the lead agency since the project is in their jurisdiction, and then Belmont would have interlocal agreements with both the TDA and Mount Holly. So staff would also look at other partnerships on our side if council wishes to move forward. We'd look at our local TDA, we'd look at just any resources we may have available if we need to find options. And we would do that at the direction of the council. And I also have information that this was something that was talked about during the visioning process.
Yeah, I've been waiting on it to come. So, any questions? Do you need a motion? What do you need?
Motion would be fine, sir.
Does the council wish to make a motion to move forward with this? Motion by Ms. Shoemaker, second by Ms. Polish. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion passes. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ms. Shoemaker, second by Ms. Polish. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. We are adjourned. There's a first.